Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Naam Sankirtan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Pranam. So today, Her Grace Himangi Vishaka Mataji will take us further, just a minute, to the shlokas 50 to 53. So this is the last set of shlokas and we will complete the chapter. And from Monday, we will start a new chapter. So over to you, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you display the Veda-based Mataji?
Yeah, Channa Mataji, will you do that?
Yes, Mataji, I will do.
Thank you, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Thank you.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnana Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhirayet, Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktirbhavati Naishiki, Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim, Yat Kripataham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. Yes. Shrimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 20th chapter, and it is the 50th verse. We are doing the conversations between Maitreya and Vidura. So the 50th shloka, Tebhya sosrijat sviyam पुरं पुरुषमात्मवान् तान् दृष्ट्वा ये पुरा सृष्टा प्रशशंसु प्रजापतिम्. Somebody can read the shloka? Or
Vikrama.
Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Pranams. तेभ्यासोऽसृजत् स्वीयं पुरं पुरुषमाप्तवान् तान् दृष्ट्वा ये पुरा सृष्टाः प्रशशंसुः प्रजापतिम्. हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Yeah, somebody can read the translation, Mataji.
Sarvana Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Synonyms. Tebya, to them. Sa, Lord Brahma. Asjat, gave. Shivyam, his own. Puram, body. Purusham, human. Atmavan, self-possessed. Than, them. Drishtva, on seeing. Ye, those who. Pura, earlier. Shrishtaha, were created, the demigods, Gandharvas, etc., who were created earlier. Parasas Samshuha, applauded. Prajapatim, Brahma, the Lord of created beings. Hare Krishna.
Translation
Translation
by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhupada.
The self-possessed creator gave them his own human form. On seeing the Manus, those who had been created earlier, the demigods, the Gandharvas, and so on, applauded Brahma, the Lord of the universe. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Master.
Yes, next one. Aho etajjagat srashtah sukritam batate kritam pratishtita kriya yasmin sakam annam adamahe.
Shanti Mataji.
Shloka na Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Aho edajjagasrashtah sukrutam padadekritam pradishtitah kriya yasmin sagamannamadhamahe. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Shilpa Mataji.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. They prayed, O Creator of the universe, we are glad what you have produced is well done. Since ritualistic acts have now been established soundly in this human form, we shall all share the sacrificial oblations. Should I read the purport, Mataji?
No need, Mataji. We will discuss it as we go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Next one, Mataji. Yeah. Tapasa vidyaya yukto yogena susamadhina rishi keshaha sasarjabhimata prajaha.
Anita Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Tapasa vidyaya yukto yogena susamadhina rishikeshaha sasarja bhimata prajaha.
Sindhu Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Pranams Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Having equipped himself with austere penance, adoration, mental concentration, and absorption in devotion, accompanied by dispassion, and having controlled his senses, Brahma, the self-born living creature, evolved great sages as his beloved sons.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
The last shloka. Tebhyashchaikaikasha swasya dehasyamsham adadajaha yattat samadhi yogarthi tapo vidya viraktimat. Sorry.
Namita Mataji. Shloka and translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Tebhyas check. Mataji, what is that one?
Tebhyashchaikaikashaha.
Tebhyas kasah swasya dehasyamasam ajah yattat samadhi yogadhi tapo vidya virak
Viraktimat.
viraktimat. Hare Krishna. Translation by His Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. To each one of the sons of the unborn creator of the universe gave a part of his own body, which was Mataji, can you move the screen little?
Part of his own body, which was characterized by deep
Which
meditation.
was characterized by deep meditation, mental concentration, supernatural power, austerity,
Adoration,
adoration,
renunciation.
renunciation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji will go back to the 50th one and we will start looking into the verses. Yes. Mataji, you can take it to the purport. Yeah, here it's only translation. Okay. The self-possessed creator gave them his own human form. On seeing the Manus, those who were created earlier, the demigods, Gandharvas, and so on, applauded Brahma, the Lord of the universe. So translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Gurudev. So in this chapter, we saw we were actually seeing right from the beginning, the conversation that actually happened between Maitreya and Vidura. And then the Saunaka rishis were interested in knowing about this conversation. What happened when actually Vidur went on a pilgrimage? We saw that, he met Maitreya Rishi. This was, of course, the will of the providence that Maitreya Rishi and Vidur met. And Vidur actually wanted to clarify all his doubts. Plus, he wanted to hear about the pastimes of the Lord. And then Shaunaka rishis wanted to hear about this conversation, because a conversation between devotees is always about the glories of the Lord or the pastimes of the Lord. So it is very much, appealing and attractive to the devotees. So now Suta Goswami is speaking about the conversation between Maitreya and Vidura about creation, which happened by Brahma. And in this particular kalpa, it happened from the very own body of Brahma. So in each kalpa, day of Brahma, creation is done in different ways. So in this particular way, if you see the initial creation Brahma does, and of course later the rishis are also created by Brahma, and then they will progeniate and they will fill the entire universe with the population. So here, the self-possessed creator gave them his own form. To whom? We saw in the previous verse. Mataji, can you take to the previous verse, 49th verse? Yes. One day, Brahma, the self-born, the first living creature, felt as if the object of his life was not accomplished. At that time, he evolved from his mind the Manus who promote the welfare activities of the universe. We saw that, he had created animals, plants, trees, yakshas, rakshasas, demigods, pitas, sadhyas. In the previous shlokas, Brahma had created all this. And if you have remembered, from ignorance, from avidya, the yakshas and rakshasas have come. They have come from the ignorance and the avidya of Brahma. Brahma gave up that body of ignorance, and then night came up, twilight came up. So what does this mean, Matajis? If that Brahma is giving up the body and these entities are created. If Brahma is going on giving up his bodies, how is Brahma alive? How is he doing it? How is he doing it? Anybody can attempt?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Maybe Brahma,
the
bhava, instead of material body, the bhava he might have relinquished, I think.
Mentality. Or the conscious, that mentality, when Brahma gave up, it became, when he gave up ignorance, it became twilight. When he gave up, avidya, that came out as rakshasas and yakshas. So actually, he is able to reject these different bodies. So what we have to understand here is that the conscious level or the mentality with which any action is done has got one particular type of result. So Brahma giving up and rejecting these mentalities, or in other words, bodies, is actually giving rise to all these different entities, and this he is doing by the power of his yoga. That is, he is got the yogic power, the siddhis, as we call, there are ashta siddhis. Like that, there is yogic power, which Brahma also has, because he is the secondary creator. He also has this yogic power. Through this, he is able to reject this type of bodies where these entities, living entities, are actually taking birth. So as such, Brahma's 100 years of lifespan will not be affected. He will be there for 100 years, but for creation purpose, he is giving up different bodies, means the different mentalities he has developed. So at the end, although in the next few shlokas we read that the sages were born, but actually Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary has mentioned that he had created everybody else, and the last ones to be created were the Manus, or the humankind. But in the 52nd shloka, we will see that, the sages were created, but sages were created before Manus. Manus are the last to be created. And why are these Manus created? Evolved from the mind of Manus. From the mind of Brahma, Manus evolved. They were to promote the welfare activities of the universe. What is the meaning of this? Promoting the welfare activities of the universe. How will the Manus promote the welfare activities of the universe? What are the others doing? There are
Manu gave the laws.
Yes, Mataji?
Manu gave the laws to how to live life.
Yes.
So the others had to abide by those laws, is how the society would run.
Correct. Mataji, welfare activities of the universe. What are the devatas doing? What are the devatas doing? They are not doing any welfare activities.
Welfare activities, yeah, Mataji.
Huh. Why is it mentioned that Manus are promoting the welfare activities?
Mankind.
Yes. Mataji, Bhuloka is considered the karma bhumi. The other lokas are for enjoyment of a punishment. So the karma bhumi is the Bhuloka. And this is the bhumi where one can purify, change his karmas, and elevate to go to the spiritual world too. So, and to get birth in the human form is very rare and is the most best form in the entire universe. Even devatas aspire for that. So Manus, who will actually promote the welfare activities of all the jivas in the universe. See, moment you're in the Bhuloka, you have access to go to the spiritual world. That is why they are very, very important. And human form is the most advanced and rare form to get. Next, Mataji, take to the 50th verse. Yes. So that is why when Brahma gave his own form, that means the two-handed human form, Brahma also is in that form. He gave up that form. Not that Brahma now did not have a form. He had his own form. But in that consciousness, when he created Manus, Manus took up that human form, that body, and seeing this, the demigods, the Gandharvas, they all applauded Brahma, the Lord of the universe. Why they have to applaud him, Mataji? He has done so much creation before also. But why they were applauding Brahma? Because he created Manus. Why everybody who was created before, they applauded Brahma for this? Oh, you've done such a good job.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Maybe the reciprocation of the improvements of the mankind.
Reciprocation of the
mankind. Mankind. Maybe improves from the Manus.
Yes, Manus are the father of mankind. They, as already mentioned, they will give the guidelines and they will give the rules and regulations to live a regulated life on Bhuloka and purify themselves and go back to the spiritual world. This is why the Gandharvas and demigods all applauded Brahma. Because he has now given a direction, a way to the living entities who take the human form to elevate themselves. Yes. Mataji, go to the 51st one. And how they will do it, how Manus or the humans will do this is mentioned in the 51st verse. They prayed, O creator of the universe, we are glad what you have produced is well done. Since now the acts have now been established soundly in this human form, we shall all share the sacrificial oblations. What is the meaning of this? That humans in this human form, the living entities in this human form will actually do sacrificial oblations. And what is the importance of sacrifices? What is the importance of sacrifices? Krishna also has mentioned in various places in Bhagavad Gita too. And which is the shloka in Bhagavad Gita? Last time also we had discussed that shloka in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna spoke about sacrificial rituals and rites. 3.10 verse, Prabhupada is mentioned in the purport. Saha yajna praja srishtva purovacha prajapati anena prasavishyadvam eshavo asva ishtakamaduk. What is the meaning of this? 3.10 verse. Continue the sacrificial rites and you will gradually be elevated to proper position of self-realization. So when Lord did this creation, he sent forth humans and demigods along with the sacrificial rituals. And he said, you continue all these sacrificial rites, you will be gradually be purified, elevated to the platform of self-realization. And being in this material world, you will live a happy life, regulated life, a life without committing sins. And in the process, you will be purified and then gradually be elevated to the platform of spiritual realization. So sacrifices are very, very important. So the manus, all the devatas and all those, the demigods, they were all very happy because now these humans are going to perform sacrifices. So now tell me the importance of sacrifice. We know that, this is meant for purification and elevation. What are the other aspects of performing sacrifice? From Devata's point of view, why are they happy that sacrificial oblations will be done?
We will learn some discipline and self-control, Mataji.
That is for the jivas. From Devata's point of view?
Maybe the karmas will be a little relieved, Mataji, whereas for them,
correct, Mataji. For the
sukha
jivas,
will be
all
more,
this
right?
you're saying is from the jivas' point of view. I'm asking from devatas. Why are they happy that sacrifices will be done?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
The devatas will get an opportunity to give support to the creation further.
Okay.
That is yajna, by yajnas.
Correct. Okay, that is their duty. They have to be the controllers of this universe and they will be the providers of the universe. But one particular thing, Prabhu, it's mentioned even in the translation. If you read the last...
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, is it to please the Supreme Lord?
That is the topmost thing, Mataji. All the way, sacrifices...
So, Mataji, by Hare Krishna, Mataji, by pleasing the demigods will give us the resources to live and run.
Correct.
And in turn, by cooperation between us and the demigods, the entire Bhuloka will run accordingly.
Correct. Jyotishwari Mataji is answered. Devatas receive oblation. Mataji, the sacrificial offerings which we the humans do, the devatas get their share of offering or oblations. It is said that by doing sacrifices, the devatas get their food and water. So devatas are also will be pleased. First and foremost, sacrifice is done to please the Supreme Lord. And in the process, the devatas will also get their share. If you remember the Daksha Yagna, why it was frustrated? Because Daksha refused to give the share to Lord Shiva. All the devatas have to be given their share, and then the devatas actually get their food and water from the sacrifices which the humans are performing. So the devatas are also pleased. Lord Vishnu, of course, Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam. Lord Vishnu is the ultimate, the Yagna Purusha, who is the one who accepts the Yagna, and only then the Yagna will be successful. And then first we know that, the performance of Yagna is actually important for the Jiva, for his purification, for actually, getting whatever his material desires fulfilled. All this is there. And then next one is that Prabhupada writes in the purport, all the living entities created by Brahma are conditioned souls. They want to enjoy this material happiness. They are inclined to lord over this material nature. But what happens is, when we perform sacrificial rituals, it is to revive gradually our spiritual position. And when we start reviving the spiritual position, or at least realizing that we are spiritual entities, that is the beginning of life within this universe. This material world is not meant for enjoyment. Though it apparently is used for material enjoyment, it is not meant for that. The intention is to realize our spiritual position and go back to our original constitutional position. So that is why sacrifice is very, very important. That is why the Devatas, Yakshas, whoever were there, the Gandharvas and Apsarasas, they were praising Brahma that you have created this human form. Now who will actually perform all sacrificial oblations, which will actually purify all the living entities. And for that, all these sacrificial rituals are intended to please the Supreme Lord. If we don't please the Supreme Lord, we cannot get material enjoyment in this material world, neither we will be elevating ourselves spiritually. So ultimately, it will help us in liberation. So here, the 4 points about importance of performing sacrifice is that, first and foremost, is that it is the duty of the jiva. Krishna has created, at the beginning of the creation in this universe, he has sent forth men and demigods, and he sent forth sacrificial rituals for purification, for happily living in this material world, and also elevating themselves to higher position. And Mataji, it is the duty of jivas in all the varnas and ashrams. One may be a brahmachari, one may be a grahastha, one may be a vanaprastha or a sannyasi. Everybody has to perform sacrificial rituals for purification. Grahasthas are especially recommended sacrifices, because through sacrifices, what happens is we are actually purifying whatever activities we are doing, the ingredients we are using, and then it will actually help us elevate in our consciousness. Now, how? The simple thing, Matajis, it is mentioned in the Shastra about Ahara Shuddhi Sattva Shuddha Dhruva Smriti Smriti Lambe Sarva Granthinam Vipramokshaha. This shloka is mentioned by Prabhupada in the purports. Thus, by actually performing sacrificial offering, the eatables are purified. When the eatables are purified, the very existence is purified. Why? Because our bodies subsist on food grains. So if the food grains are offered, then our subsistence, our existence is purified. And once our existence is purified, the finer tissues in the memory become sanctified. So when one's memory is sanctified, one can think of the path of liberation. Now, how will this happen? What has food got to do with liberation? What has food got to do with liberation, Mataji? Very simple thing. It started with offering food. What has food got to do with liberation? Yes, Mataji. Just now we discussed. Can anybody say?
So it's we are offering to the Lord. It purifies us actually.
Yes. Yeah.
And it gets rid of the sin what we have occurred. On cooking, it said that there are 5 kinds of sin when we are cooking also, right? So all those sins are also eradicated when we offer to the Supreme Lord and when we consume it. And in one sense, we also tend to get some realization.
Yes.
By eating the food. And it has to be eaten in the mode that it has offered and it has been tasted by the Lord. And that's the remnants we are eating. So only then all these things will happen.
Correct. And then after you eat the food which is offered in the sacrifice, your existence is purified. How existence is purified?
Because the food that we offer becomes sanctified. That's why.
Correct.
We are eating sanctified.
So first our body will be purified. Body will be purified. And then finer tissues in the memory. This is the point we have to stress and understand. Finer tissues in the memory. What does it mean?
Our thinking capacity, our knowledge will be purified. So, which means it will not think like of Rajo and Sattva,
Our thinking and consciousness will
so it
change.
will be
Mataji.
in
Yes.
Sattva Gun.
Correct. Mataji, where are our samskars, impressions from previous lives stored?
Mind.
In our subtle body. Mind.
Subtle body, which is having mind, intelligence, and
Intelligence.
ego. So there, the memory. What is the memory? Actually, what is the memory we should have and what is the memory we have forgotten? 15th chapter, 15th shloka, Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtaha mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaishcha sarvai rahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Jnanam apohanam cha comes from me. Forgetfulness and remembrance comes from me. Memory is something which is there in the jiva right from its existence, from its beginning itself, but somewhere some memory has gone. And what is that we have forgotten?
Our relationship with the
relationship
Supreme
We are
with the
servants of
Lord.
Krishna.
Yes.
Relationship with Supreme Lord.
Yes. We have forgotten our constitutional position. So that memory we have to revive. We are originally the servitors of the Lord. That is our original position. But we have forgotten it. That is why Prabhupada mentions in this purport that the conditioned souls, all the living entities created by Brahma are conditioned souls and are inclined to lord it over material nature. This is because that memory that we are the servitors of Lord is gone. Because we want to enjoy separately, we have now forgotten that. So the purpose of all these sacrificial rituals is to revive back that memory. So what we say is, when we get this kind of knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, and we gradually start following the process, then we will gradually kind of get back that consciousness, that memory that we are the servants of the Lord. And then later, based on the degree of our purification, we will actually awaken our original consciousness. And then we attain the platform of liberation or ultimate spiritual realization. So Prabhupada mentions that unless one pleases the Supreme Lord, and unless one becomes Krishna conscious, we cannot be happy either in this material enjoyment or in spiritual realization. So performing sacrifices is the beginning of actually our spiritual realization and liberation. And in Kali Yuga, all other sacrifices we know, time and again we have spoken in Kali Yuga, it's difficult to perform all other sacrifices. So Sankirtana Yajna, chanting of the holy names of the Lord, the Yuga Dharma, the recommended process by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is sufficient to revive our original consciousness. See, they say Vishnu Sahasranam, if one recites in the right meter, with the right pronunciation and utterance, it actually opens up the finer tissues of the memory, of the mind. And, our brain tissues are all, they say the gray cells and all are very much activated by the sound vibrations of Vishnu Sahasranam. So, there is a study which is done. For that, you have to pronounce very right and, the proper meter. But the same thing we know, if we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra with complete focus, without offenses, we will get the same result. In fact, we will get much higher result. We can get prema bhakti, love of Godhead. So if one has to revive the ultimate memory, one has to follow this process of Krishna consciousness, and then ultimately one can go back to Krishna. So this is what is mentioned in this shloka, that human form is now established by Brahma. So then the Devatas will get their share and humans will also get an opportunity to purify themselves. Yes. Any doubt in this shlokas, Mataji?
Mataji, I have a question, Mataji.
Yeah.
Mataji, when we say Devatas receive their share, that they receive their food and water, what does it actually inference, Mataji?
Mataji, whatever the sacrifices the humans are performing, when they're offering the ahuti, Mataji, they say no swaha to each devata or the Supreme Lord, they will get their share of food and water, like how we do tarpanam for the pitas, Mataji. Shraddha ceremony, we offer water with til seeds and we offer pindam with rice or wheat, no Mataji, that becomes the food for the pitas. Same way, the offerings we do in the Havan as an offering to the Devatas and Supreme Lord becomes the food and water for the Devatas.
Okay. So it means that the Sankirtan Yajna, what we do,
Yes.
that is the actual offering what we are doing to the Devatas also. So it is mandatory.
Yeah, Mataji. Dravya Yagna is different. What we say now, ingredients of food and offering that we do. Dravya Yagna is different. Sankirtana Yagna. What is happening in Sankirtana Yagna? What is the ahuti we are giving, Mataji?
The mantra, the Mahamantra.
Sound vibration.
Yeah, you are chanting the sound vibration. What is the ahuti that is going into the sacrifice of Sankirtana Yagna? When we vibrate Hare Krishna Mahamantra, what is ahuti?
Sound?
Huh?
Sound it is?
Sound vibration is fine, Mataji. That is the yagna you are doing. What is the ahuti?
Is it that we want
Mantra
to
itself?
do the service? We are praying that we want to do the service. That is ahuti, Mataji.
Mantra is actually
Mataji, man and chit.
service. Yeah. Then what is the ahuti? I'm asking what is the ahuti? You are giving the ahuti of your all good and bad karmas and you're nullifying your karmas.
Okay.
You're washing away your karma. See, when you have to attain the spiritual platform, Brahma Bhuta stage, you shouldn't have even good karmas nor bad karmas. You should not have any karmas. So in Sankirtana Yagna, the ahuti is your own karmas.
Okay.
And when you are offering everything, including your desires to the Supreme Lord, that is the ultimate sacrifice. No? You don't want anything else except engaging in the service of the Lord. The Supreme Lord is ultimately very pleased, and Devatas are also happily, very happy that the Jiva now wants to go and engage only in the service of the Lord. They are absolutely pleased with it.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes.
Thank you,
Mataji,
Mataji.
how the Devatas will please by chanting?
Oh, Devatas are the ones who know who is the Supreme Lord. And if any Jiva actually wants to engage in the service of the Supreme Lord, they're very, very happy to pull that Jiva and send him above to the spiritual world.
So we were not offering the food like any ingredients or water, nothing else.
Prabhu, how many people are only chanting to leave the material world and how many are doing so many other sacrifices to be happy in the material world? There are people who are doing that also. Okay. I want this, I want that. So they are doing different kinds of sacrifices. They are doing different kind of homas. So from them, the Devatas will.
Okay.
Those who are aiming for liberation, they have no rules and regulations to follow, Prabhu. We know that. Those who are engaged in the service of the Lord, completely surrendered to the Lord, they don't have to do all this.
Okay. I do agree. Thank you.
Karma kanda activities. There are many people in this material world who are doing karma kanda activities, isn't it?
Yes.
So the Devatas will get from them, Prabhu.
Okay.
It's not that everybody is aiming for liberation. I mean, does everybody in this material world know what is liberation, first of all?
Okay, I do agree. Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Then unless and until you aspire for it, you cry for it, you will not get liberation. So people are doing so many sacrifices for material benefits. So Devatas are getting their share from them.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. As you mentioned, what I understood is, please correct me if I'm wrong. So what I understood is, so we are doing the sacrifices just to please the demigods.
No,
which means for the karma kanda is for the karma kanda.
Mataji, first the Supreme Lord, Mataji. Any sacrifice you do, Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu will be the last.
Yeah.
Yes. So first the Supreme Lord has to be satisfied, then only the Devatas will be satisfied.
Yeah. So, but the karma kandis which it is mentioned, the sacrifices that we can do certain yajna to please this demigod. So all those things are mentioned, right?
Yes.
So that is the sacrifice which we are doing is only for that particular demigod. Yes. So where that demigod is satisfied because of that sacrifice. So which means he is getting here, that demigod is getting the food
His share.
for
His share.
his share. His share is meaning the food.
Yes.
Right? So, okay. So that's how the demigod is getting satisfied and
yes.
person
And
is
ultimately,
fulfilling
Mataji, if you
desires.
closely observe the chanting of the mantras in any sacrifice, last they will say Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu. So then when Krishna is satisfied, everybody will be satisfied.
Yeah. But what is the point in saying that, Mataji? Because the person who is doing is, he will be doing, having that demigod in the mind and do, right?
Mataji, if you don't offer to the Supreme Lord, the sacrifice will not be fulfilled. Though the person who is doing doesn't know, the pujari will know, the brahmana will know that if you don't offer to Vishnu, the sacrifice will not fructify. So he will do it. The result will not come if it is not offered to Vishnu.
Okay, fine. So, okay, so you're saying the priest who is doing that sacrifice, he will utter the mantra.
Yes,
First for
because
the Supreme Lord.
ultimately, if it is not offered to Vishnu, this yagna will not succeed.
Yes. Okay, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, I have a question.
Yes.
When we are offering the food to Bhoga to the Lord, there are two aspects to it. One is we want the food to be sanctified so that, we don't get sinful reactions of what we are eating.
Correct.
So what should be the bhav? Because there is this pushpam phalam.
Patram pushpam phalam toya.
Yeah, so that is, we are offering it to Lord. So the food is for our sanctification, or it is also to please the Lord? What bhav should we have?
Mataji, the first and topmost and only bhav should be to please the Lord, not for our purification.
So
incidentally, it happens that it is purified, but the bhav is to only serve Lord. That is the topmost bhava, Mataji. But initially, see, bhava is something which has to be developed. Artificial imitation of bhava will not happen. So sometimes we say, okay, if we offer to the Lord, it will be purified. So if you are still in that conscious, it is better than not at all offering, because at least you are offering to purify the food and have. But the topmost bhava is only loving devotional service to the Lord, pleasing the Lord. And it's the, the side effect, or incidentally, the food will be purified for your own consumption as a remnant. Yes. Yeah, Mataji will finish the last two shlokas and then we'll take the next questions. I think it's 10:15. We can go to the 52nd and 53rd one. 52nd. Having equipped himself with austere penance, adoration, mental concentration, and absorption in devotion, accompanied by dispassion, and having controlled his senses, Brahma, the self-born creature, evolved great sages as his beloved sons. So actually, this happens before the the creation of Manus, but here, see the mentality of Brahma now, the conscious of Brahma when he was creating the great sages. So he was in the mood of austerity, penance, adoration, mental concentration, and absorption in devotion. So in that consciousness, accompanied by dispassion, so he was not at all in the mode of passion. And his senses were completely controlled. So in that consciousness, in that mentality, Brahma, the self-born, Brahma is Swayambhu. He just appeared from the navel of Vishnu. He doesn't have a mother. He did not take birth from the womb of a mother. So he just appeared from the lotus flower. So he evolved great sages as his beloved sons. So from his mind, the Manasa Putras, who are the Manasa Putras of Brahma?
Lord Shiva, Mataji.
Narada Maharshi.
First one.
First one, Lord Shiva.
Kumaras. When they refused to progenate and they chose to remain Naishtika brahmacharis all their life, then Brahma got angry, and from the anger of Brahma came Shiva.
Shiva, yes.
And then various other saints who Brahma created with this mentality. Self-controlled, controlled senses, no passion, absorption in devotion, adoration, mental concentration, penance, austerity. In that consciousness, all other saints were created. You have 10 sons of Brahma, you have Marichi, Angira, all these rishis, Narada, all these rishis were created. And
so these rishis, sorry to interrupt, Mataji. So these rishis who are created will have all these qualities, Mataji?
Yes. So
it's
Mataji,
not for each rishi, each quality. So the 10
They will have, all the rishis will have in different proportions. The combination may vary. Like Narada is in pure goodness. You have rishis in, goodness. All the rishi saints are usually in goodness. But Narada Muni is a great devotee in pure goodness. So these levels will differ in each and every one, but they all will have these qualities. Okay. So here,
Mataji,
yes,
Mataji, are all these rishis called Prajapatis?
Mataji, these are the rishis only. They, in fact, they, from them came the population. So you can call them Prajapatis because Prajapatis are the progenitors.
Yes, because there were 10 Prajapatis, no?
Yeah, yeah. So, from them, the creations, the population came,
Started, yeah.
Yeah, so then they are called Prajapatis because from, we also now today also refer to the Gotra from we are. Gotra means from which Rishi our thing has come, our lineage has come.
Yes.
So from all these Rishis only we all have come.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. So here what we have to understand is that now Brahma created Manus, and before that he created these sages. Now Manus, the Manus, whoever the Manus came, first he created only the first Manu, Swayambhuva Manu, and you have the Manu Samhita who has given rules and regulations for mankind. And all the rules followed by whatever is mentioned in Manu Samhita is for economic development, living a prosperous life in this material world on Poloka by following all the rules and regulations and not doing any sinful activities. Now, Manus are meant for comfortable living. They will ensure that the jivas in this material world can live comfortably by following the rules and regulations. Before that, he created these sages. Now, why do you need these sages? Why do we need the sages, Mataji? What is the role of the rishis and munis?
To teach us the shastras.
To guide the living entity. Guide them.
Guide us or to give us knowledge.
Yes. So Manu will guide us for economic development, dharma, artha, kama, but for spiritual realization, for moksha, we need the guidance of the rishis and munis. So Brahma created this rishis and munis. So all these rishis and munis are self-realized souls. They have the knowledge of the Vedas. They learn it from Brahma, and then they guide the humans, the mankind, for living comfortable life as well as elevating themselves and purifying themselves to ultimately attain the ultimate abode. So that's how this entire creation is done. Now, the last shloka is very important for us to learn for practical application also. We will see what it means. To each one of these sons, the unborn creator of the universe gave a part of his own body, which characterized by deep meditation, mental concentration, supernatural power, austerity, adoration, and renunciation. So when all these sages, the sons of Brahma, were born, he gave a part of his own body. They are, which was, that body was having, the conscious was having deep meditation, mental concentration, supernatural power. So all the rishis are having the siddhas, the power. They have that, yogic power. They are very austere, adoration and renunciation. They had all these qualities. So here the key word is viraktimat, possessed of the qualification of renunciation. This is very, very important, not only for the rishis and all the elevated souls, but for the humans in this material world too. Because unless and until one develops the mentality of renunciation, they will not be able to detach themselves from sense enjoyment. So here, one thing is renunciation we are going to speak about. And the second thing, Prabhupada, now just now we said that, Manus have given the rules and regulations to live a comfortable life for economic development. And then the rishis are appeared, they have been created to guide us spiritually. But Prabhupada writes a line in this purport: propaganda that one will enjoy this life materially and at the same time spiritually advance is simply bogus. This is the line we have to understand. So first we will just see a few points in renunciation. We understand what is renunciation. Yes, somebody can tell me what do they understand by renunciation?
Giving up sense enjoyment for ourselves.
Okay.
Giving up
Attachment,
and whatever we do it as an offering to the Lord.
Announcing the result of the work.
Result of the
Yeah,
work.
the result
Sense
of the work.
gratification.
desires, Mataji.
Giving up desires. We are giving up a material enjoyment. All this is right.
giving
Yes.
up attachment,
Attachment to
connecting with Lord Mataji. Everybody, family, everything. Mataji.
Crossing the
connecting with
stream
the
of
Lord. Okay. Okay.
Attachment to material
Mataji,
things.
not shaking even when the happiness and the distress is there.
Okay. Remaining,
Being
remaining
equipoised.
equal. Equipoised. Okay. All that is right. Then, have you heard a word called Yukta Vairagya, which Rupa Goswami mentions in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu?
Yes,
What is the
Mataji.
meaning of Yukta Vairagya? What is it?
Do all the
Using
material activities, but
using everything in the
as
service
this offering to Krishna, whatever we do.
Okay. Next, somebody else was saying something. Yes, Mataji?
using everything in the service of Krishna, Mataji.
Using everything in service of Krishna. Correct. That is one part of it. There is a second part of it also. We have the shloka in Bhakti
We can
Rasa.
do the work.
Result we
can
give it to
offer the
Krishna.
results to Krishna.
Results to Krishna.
That is the Yukta Vairagya. I understand, Mataji, like that.
Okay. So there is this shloka in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Anasaktasya Vishayan Yatharham Upayunjataha Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. What is the meaning of that? When one is not attached to anything, but at the same time accepts everything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated above possessiveness. What is the meaning of this? When one is not attached to anything, but he is at the same time, he is accepting everything in relation to Krishna.
For
He is above
example,
possessiveness. Yes, Mataji?
sorry, Mataji.
Yeah, say
Go
it. What are you saying, Mataji?
No,
Yeah.
you were asking, no? So I'm just trying to attempt, so for example, when we are going for a work, we are getting the salary, but we are using that in Krishna's service. So that is the meaning.
That is the
I
example.
understand like that. Yeah.
Yes, that is the example. That you are not rejecting anything. You are accepting in relation to Krishna. It's like, some people say, we have to be detached from material things. Then only we can progress in our spiritual life. Otherwise, it is not possible. But Prabhupada said that rejecting something artificially is not right. Yeah, Mataji has mentioned using technology in Krishna consciousness. Yes, this is the example of Yukta Vairagya. So if you unnecessarily go on rejecting things, saying that these are all material things, so we need not be attached to it or use it, because in Krishna consciousness, in spiritual life, we don't need all this. This is wrong. Prabhupada always is to say, Rupa Goswami always is to stress that use anything, everything that is required in Krishna consciousness to serve the Lord or to serve the devotees or to preach. If anything is required, use it. If it is for your own sense gratification, for your own benefit, for your own comfort, reject it. Falgu Vairagya, the opposite of Yukta Vairagya is Falgu Vairagya, Markata Vairagya. It's falsely giving up things or, unnecessarily rejecting things which you can use in Krishna consciousness. So, thinking that, oh, this is matter, I should not use. It's like Prabhupada used to give an example that a person who is in spiritual life actually does not require a car. Car is not required. You can walk, you can use any other mode of transport. But if this car helps you to travel faster, to do some service or to preach, if it is convenient, then use it. Use it in the service. Don't reject it. So saying that, getting used to car is going to be, an attachment for me, so I will reject it. That's called Falgu Vairagya. Falsely giving up. Use it in the service of the Lord. Even, he gave in one of the lectures, Prabhupada said when he was in Vrindavan, that sannyasis don't have to travel by airplanes. They don't have to travel by, luxury cars. But he said, no, if I have to preach in America, I have to save my time. I will go by flight. First, Prabhupada traveled by steamer, Jaldut. It took him nearly more than a month. But later, when he had the resources, he had the money, he used it. He used to use aircrafts. He says, This is for the preaching work. This is for spreading Krishna consciousness. So use the aircraft. So anything which helps us serve the Lord, serve the devotees, serve in the preaching mission has to be accepted. Yeah, Mataji has mentioned about the Rolls-Royce car also. When devotees brought Rolls-Royce to take Prabhupada. Prabhupada accepted it. It is the bhava of the disciples. I don't need a Rolls-Royce, but if the devotees want to serve me, I accept it. Not for my enjoyment, but only as a service to Krishna. So one has to be in Yukta Vairagya. One should have the detachment from anything that is material, but also see that everything is Krishna's creation. Krishna is there in everything, and everything can be used in the service of Krishna. Then you use it. Prabhupada, in fact, I've forgotten the name, one of the preachers in America, I think he was a yoga teacher, somebody brought a suitcase of money and was giving in front of the entire class that money, and this particular preacher or sannyasi was hesitating to take, thinking that, what will people think that I'm taking money? Prabhupada immediately jumped. He said, you give me the suitcase. I know what I have to do with it. I will use it in Krishna seva. So he was not hesitating to take funds from people because he was very clear he is going to use it in Krishna seva, not for his own enjoyment. So any activity you do as a service to Krishna, or you're doing anything in Krishna consciousness, then anything that is material, you can use it. You need not reject anything. That is Yukta Vairagya. So one has to know that we also can use all our material things in the service of Krishna, not for our sense gratification. Why? Because if we are using for our sense gratification, what happens? The second line which Prabhupada says here, propaganda that we enjoy this life materially and at the same time spiritually advance is simply bogus. This is what will happen. If we say that we need material enjoyment, material comforts for our comfortable living, and at the same time we will progress in spiritual life, this will not happen. Material enjoyment, spiritual advancement are two parallel lines. Two parallel lines like in a railway track. The two parallel tracks will never meet. So we have to reduce material enjoyment for our sense gratification. Mataji, we all need, now it is summer months. We all need air conditions. Without ACs, we cannot stay. But is AC very, very necessary for the jiva?
No,
No,
Mataji.
Mataji.
But are we all using?
We are using it. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
We are also using Mataji. Sometimes it gets very hot at daytime.
Mataji, 20 years back, 30 years back, did we have ACs in India in each and every house?
No,
Mataji, that time,
but
that
that
time
time
the
the
weather
heat
was also
wasn't so much also.
Very less.
That time the climate was also much
And
better.
houses were, Mataji, the mud floor and all were insulated houses and all, the thatched roofs. And
Have we progressed in our this thing, or have we gone back?
spiritually we have gone back.
Actually, we have gone
Materially
back.
we have progressed.
That's it. So heat is more because of pollution, because of so many vehicles around, so much of global warming. All that has been done by we humans only, no, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
So Prabhupada,
Population also more, Mataji. Population also more.
population also more. Everybody is leaving villages and coming and staying only in cities.
Yes,
Every person
yes.
wants to be in the city only. So per density, people in the, just now Mataji, I was speaking to Narayani Mataji and saying Bangalore is so crowded. Everywhere you see people and buildings only actually. So what will happen? Global warming, it's like heat is
Mataji,
increasing.
nothing can beat Mumbai.
Water
We know how
shortage,
we are living
Mataji.
here.
It will lead to water shortage. That's why there's water
Yes.
shortage.
Yes.
All resources will go dry.
Yes.
Cutting
Yes,
trees.
Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji, even farmers nowadays, they don't want to work in the farm. They're coming down here in Pune. They are working. Their children are learning computer science and all that. So in
Yes.
time to they won't have food. All that Prabhupada has said is coming true.
Yes. So Prabhupada clearly mentions, you want to enjoy life materially. See, the economic development which Manhu Samhita speaks about is different from what we are doing now. That type of economic development was to just live comfortably so that you can spend more and more time in spiritual practices. We are making our lives comfortable today, not to spend more time in spiritual practices, but to live comfortably. We also can check. This is the line we have to check every day, that if we are making our life comfortably materially, are we utilizing the time for our spiritual advancement, or are we relaxing?
So
No,
true.
Mataji. No,
So true.
Mataji, utilizing for the spiritual progress.
You are utilizing, Mataji, very good. So unless and until you utilize more and more time in Krishna consciousness, we will not progress because we have limited time. So the time in material activities, I will not say enjoyment, in material activities have to be reduced considerably as we progress. And our spiritual activities have to go on becoming more and more. Our time, our energy, our conscious has to become more and more involved in spiritual activities. Otherwise, we will never ever attain perfection in this lifetime. We may have to take many janmas. Not to sound pessimistic, because Prabhupada said 1 minute is enough to become Krishna conscious, but we have to take it up with that seriousness.
Yes,
We will
Mataji, most of us have changed, Mataji.
Yeah.
We have changed our lives. We don't go out. I don't know about that. We don't go out much, except in the spiritual places, preaching or the temple or at home, attending classes. Mataji, that's our interest now.
Mataji, it happens with age also. Because see, whoever is in the prime of Grahasthashram, how are they going to balance this life? Enjoy life materially, progress spiritually. Because with children around, is it easy to do?
No, Mataji.
You know, I have children who will ask me, you are taken up Krishna conscious after 40s, you have enjoyed your life till that, and now you are stopping us from doing it. We are hardly in 20s. You have finished your enjoyment and now you are saying Krishna conscious. So what is the answer I can give them? So one has to know that spiritual life, material life cannot go together. We have to reduce material life and then only progress spiritual. Prabhupada used to very strictly say that there is nothing like a balancing act, but we are doing, as Grahasthashram, people, we are doing it. We have no choice because we have not taken up Krishna conscious at a very young age. So we can be hopeful that children will take it up. But if they don't, then we have to leave the souls that, okay, they will choose when they have to choose. Yes, Mataji, Sindhu Mataji, it's actually compassion, not all fortunate to get into Krishna conscious. Mataji, we understand that to get into Krishna conscious, we have lot of mercy. But how many people know? There are people who say that, you are into Krishna conscious because you are having lot of idle time, or you have nothing to do, so you have taken up one path to engage yourself.
That's so true.
Yeah, and Mataji, I have people who
Yes,
pity us.
Mataji.
Yes.
You all are in such fallen state that you are, you don't know what life enjoyment is. They pity us that you have left onion garlic, you've left this, you've left that. What life you are living?
Yes, Mataji, the people take it in a wrong way.
Yes. No, in fact, when we were chanting outside in some public transport, there somebody came and asked, are you having a lot of troubles in your life that you're chanting the Lord's name? So that, people who are miserable, who are troubled, who are diseased, they only take the Lord's name.
No,
That is
Mataji, misconception.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Misconception.
So that is the conscious of level of people in Kali Yuga. So yes. So, when we come to know the value of Krishna consciousness, when we have got it, the urgency with which we have to take it up is like very, very serious. Prabhupada always used to say, there is urgency of Krishna consciousness in this world today. Because this is the only solution to get rid of all the problems, miseries in this material world. So we have to actually practice this, practice more and more spirituality and give up material, activities, I say, not enjoyment necessarily, because most of us who have realized this, we may not engage in lot of enjoyment. Sometimes we just go out with family and friends because it is also a part of the Grahasthashram duties. Otherwise, we cannot cut off with everybody like that. But in our mind, so here that word we have to keep in our mind. In the mood of renunciation, we have to do all our duties. Virakti mat. That is the qualification we have to develop. Do everything, but in the mood of renunciation. Do all other activities which are favorable in Krishna consciousness. So the very fundamental line, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. This should be our motto, our mood when we are practicing Krishna consciousness. Yes, I think it's 10:35. I will
Mataji,
just stop, Mataji. Yes.
Mataji, can I ask a question, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, I have a question with respect to Manu being the progenitor.
Yeah.
We are all eternal souls, right, Mataji, who were residing on Mahavishnu's body and who were migrated, I can say, from by the glance, which is Shambhu, to and given a body by the secondary creator. So, having said that, how is Manu the progenitor, Mataji?
Mataji is the first man and Shatarupa is the first woman. They together start the mankind, the human population. They are the first persons on the Bhuloka. Manu is the first man. Like we say in Christianity, Adam and Eve, Mataji. The same thing is Manu. Manu is also a Mataji, a Jiva, who is much purified than the normal Jivas. We see, in the day of Brahma, 14 Manus come. So Manus are actually purified, better purified souls than the normal living entities. So he's the first man. See, in the Bhuloka, there has to be a first person who comes, who starts the entire mankind race. So Manu and Shatarupa. And from them only the practice of marriage started. Otherwise, from Rishis and Munis, Mataji, through their meditative powers, only the children, progeny could come forth. Like we see, Kashyapa Prajapati married so many of Daksha's daughters, and from one Diti came the Rakshasas, and from Kadru came the birds, and from, Vinata came the birds, and Kadru came the serpents. So through the meditative power only the creation would be there. But from the human beings, the process of marriage and having children was started by Manu and Shatarupa.
Okay.
He is
so
also a
the
Jiva,
body.
but a Jiva. Yes.
Okay, so it's the bodies which they create, and
Yes. Male
and
body, female body, Mataji. Brahma, when he created Manu and Shatarupa, he created the male body and the female.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask, we discussed that, we we do the sacrifice, and for the people who do other yagyas and homas, so devtas or the demigods receive the sacrifice from them. So does that mean that kind of sacrifice is also important?
It is important for those who have material desires, and at least they are doing a sacrifice. They are getting purified. Their ingredients are getting purified. Their wealth is getting purified, and they're slowly their conscious will also get purified. So Mataji, when Krishna recommends in the 3rd chapter, do sacrifices, it is recommended in the Shastra. There is the Karma Kanda portion in the Vedas also for various material desires. So that, Mataji, when the desire is fulfilled, they have actually done the right way. So everything in the process is purified. So gradually, when their desires are getting fulfilled, they will actually start elevating themselves. See, once you are satisfied with something, you may not ask for it again. So gradual elevation will happen in the consciousness, because when they start, Krishna speaks about the yoga ladder, where he says karma kanda, then it comes to nishkama karma, then it comes to jnana, because once they are interacting with these brahmanas or purohits, they will start giving the knowledge. Then they will get the jnana. Then they will slowly give up all this. They'll start doing the dhyana and then bhakti. Though it's a linear kind of a thing, directly bhakti also can be done. So this gradual elevation will happen from karma kanda to jnana and dhyana. So it is actually allowed in Shastra that if they want to do the sacrifices for material benefits, they can do Mataji. Because Krishna also says, that there are people who approach him with material desires. We know the 4 types of people who approach Krishna. Artho, Artharthi, Jignasu, Jnani. So it's nothing wrong if you approach the Lord with desires. So nothing wrong in doing sacrifices for material desires.
So Mataji, my point here was, so the demigods are receiving the sacrifices only from those people. Yes. So is it necessary for demigods?
Yes, Mataji. See, why nowadays these calamities are happening? Because proper rituals are not being done. If you remember, during the Govardhan Puja also, Indra every year was being offered by all those Vrindavan Vasis to Mataji, and Krishna came and stopped that sacrifice. Krishna
Yes,
came and said, don't do to Indra, now do to Govardhan. Govardhan is there. So because he wanted to actually crush the pride of Indra. So there were rituals, seasonal rituals which were done. If you see Makar Sankrant, there is some kind of a puja rituals done. So all this was to propitiate the Devatas. The Devatas also used to keep getting their own foods, Mataji, their own shares actually. So this is compulsory, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. And another thing, Mataji, in just few minutes back, you said that, you used to chant in while traveling. So, I mean, even I travel while going to office. It's almost 1 hour in the morning and 1.5 to 2 hours in the evening. So I keep thinking that, I'm wasting a lot of time. So is it okay to chant while traveling, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Who said no? You can chant. And if you are in a place where you cannot carry your beads, you can take a clicker and chant, Mataji.
Okay. Because I feel that, people will think that, we are just doing a show off kind of things.
No, Mataji, you
But
should not.
internally, I feel that I have to utilize the time.
Yes, definitely you should. Let them see. They will keep looking. Why are they moving their lips like that? So many times they keep asking me, what are you saying? I said, we are chanting the mantra. Then they keep quiet. That's all. In train, in platform, in airports, we keep chanting, Mataji. There's nothing wrong.
Thank you,
Krishna,
Mataji.
Mataji,
Dandavat
sorry to
pranam,
interrupt.
Hare
In
Krishna.
this regard, I would like to mention a point here. So if you see in UAE, all the people, they also chant. Like if you
With
see
their beads.
the Muslims
Yeah, with their
also, they have the beads. Even when you go in the taxi, the driver also will be keep on chanting. And now it is Ramadan month, and the force
will
of
do.
their chanting will be increased. So
Yes.
all the time they will be chanting. So there is nothing wrong when we are
No.
when we are traveling and
Nothing
chanting.
wrong. No, nothing wrong, Mataji. You can chant.
Just don't ignore the people who are thinking you can't satisfy them, right?
Mataji,
So
you're
just
not doing for them. You know the importance. You know the importance of time. You know that you have limited time. So you utilize your time because none of these people are going to come with you when you have to leave.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat
They
pranam,
so
Hare Krishna.
boldly wear the skull caps and
Yes.
they so boldly do everything. We hesitate to put a tilak also.
Yes. You have to utilize.
Yes,
Even Christians
Mataji.
have their rosary, Mataji. Christians also have their rosary beads and they keep chanting. Some of them, I have seen that.
Mataji, Muslims also do. Muslims also chant, yeah.
They also
Everybody
chant.
chants.
Yes. Nothing wrong, Mataji. You know the importance, so you do it. Yes.
Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji, if the questions are done, we can stop. I think it's 10 past.
Yeah,
But
Hari
Mataji,
Bol.
one thing I would like to sorry, Mataji. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
fine.
Anita Mataji.
Fine, okay. Okay, Mataji.
Hey, Anita
Anita-
Mataji was saying something.
Yeah.
No, actually, if it is time, it's fine, Mataji. I just
We
wanted
will
to
ask
tell.
Mataji. Okay, we will ask Mataji.
Yeah,
Mataji, is it
Mataji.
okay?
Yeah, for me, it's okay. Only thing
Yeah,
is, anybody has any
So-
other session too.
Yeah,
Mataji,
Anita
come
Mataji.
again. Mataji, come again next week. Maybe we'll have more questions to ask you.
Mataji will come.
Yeah.
Mataji, I
Anita
wanted to
Mataji.
Small clarifications, Mataji, so many.
Yes,
Anita
Mataji.
Mataji is asking
No,
something.
I just wanted to tell Mataji, I forgot when we were talking. So,
Meanwhile,
it's
she
okay,
thinks,
Mataji.
Mataji,
Maybe
it
I'll
was
ask
a very
next time.
wonderful session.
Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji,
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, just last question.
Yeah.
Mataji, you just now said that when your kids ask you that you enjoyed everything till the age of 40 and now we are 20, we have to, we also have to. What answer do you give to them?
Mataji, I have no answer. I have done it, so you also choose, but this is the ultimate path. Because once I have done it, I cannot say that, you take it up early. See, because I have, this is my personal opinion, that they are my children, but they are souls on their own journey. So it is their choice. I have shown them the path at a very young age, which I didn't get the opportunity to know about also. And now they know the philosophy. They have attended classes. Now I have left the choice to them because now they have crossed 20s. So now I allow them to choose whatever they want to do. So they also sometimes come and give me the hint. Maybe after 40s, we will also take up this path seriously. So I just left it to them because they are now in 20s. So I cannot tell them anything. But I have started training them, right?
This question comes at my home also.
Yes. So
Maybe
I
did the same
just
thing, you can
Mataji.
tell them no, that I made a mistake. I didn't have anybody to guide me. So I wasted 20 years of my life.
That's it.
And I don't want you to do the same. So at least try this out.
That's it. But
Can
Mataji, if
add
they
that,
want to enjoy also, we cannot stop them because that's soul's choice, ma. we can't do anything.
Yes, Mataji.
Only
I
thing
just
we can
read in
give
one lecture,
prasadam,
Mataji, we always
Mataji, so that
say about
slowly
Prahlad
that
Maharaj.
changes will happen, Mataji.
Correct.
Sorry.
Prasadam we can keep giving. We can engage them in doing aartis, taking them for temple programs. That much we can do. Rest all they have to do.
Yes.
Mataji, Prahlad Maharaj instructions are at a very high level. If you tell them to beginners, they will not accept. Prahlad Maharaj said, right from
No,
the
no,
womb
no.
of your mother's
What
stomach.
I came to say is Prahlad Maharaj instructions are there. We often used to quote his instructions,
Yes.
but we want our children to do that, not ourselves. So first
Yes.
we have to follow. We have to try to cultivate that, and seeing us, the children will follow. So we cannot forcefully tell them, see, this child in a small age itself he has done. So
Yes.
it's just a point which I wanted to share, which I heard in a class one Tauju was saying.
Correct, Mataji. Correct. No, but there are people, Mataji, like I have people I've known that, you know, the Matajis have taken up Krishna conscious at a young age, not young, maybe in college, but now they are very strictly training their children, you know, right from their birth, you know, they have made them completely Krishna conscious. But of course, that soul also has to have that Sukriti to accept it and continue it also. That is not enough.
From childhood, it is very easy to bend them, Mataji, but once if they are grown, Mataji, it is very difficult to bring them
No,
under.
Mataji,
Yeah, that's
so
true.
many permutation combinations happen. There are people who were in Krishna conscious right from the beginning, and in the midway they have left also. So it all depends on so many factors. So Krishna conscious is actually a very, very personal thing, the soul with the super soul. So none of us have any role to play there. We can only guide and leave it, and the soul has to go on its own journey, Mataji.
Krishna Mataji, I have a very small doubt in relation to this. Can I ask Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, what happens if, like, is it okay if a person does not attend any of these classes, or is not very regular going to the temple, but has suddenly found Bhagavatam book and has started reading? So in this case, it's my husband actually. I got Bhagavatam from the temple last year, and one day we started reading it, but we couldn't read it together. And suddenly, for the past 3 days, we have joined our elder son in Veda Pathshala. So all of us are getting up early. So he has a lot of time, and he has started reading Bhagavatam all of a sudden.
Very good.
So it is it under the disciplic succession only, will you say, or how does that fit in?
Which Bhagavatam did he get, Mataji? Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavatam?
Yes, Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavatam.
Then that's it. He has got some
So it's
Sukriti
okay,
has come. But Mataji, there are so many things. Now he has started, let him do it. There are people who take it up from this point very seriously. Otherwise, there may be a temporary phase where they are completely kind of, you know, getting into this. And then maybe after some time, they'll withdraw a little. So all this can happen. So you have to just go with the flow and let it happen. Till he's reading Bhagavatam, permanently he's getting Punya and Sukriti, Mataji. Spiritual account is open. So let's rest, we can continue. Even in the coming Janmas, or he can attain perfection in this lifetime. It's all mercy of Guru and Krishna.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Mataji, such a practical session. I mean, at least I'm so impressed with today's session, because you have given us the opportunity in the middle to ask the questions, because we tend to forget the questions, Mataji. So it is wonderful process, Mataji. Thank you so much.
I totally agree with Mataji. Today was a very, very, very knowledgeable, and it really helped us with those small doubts and
Prabhupada's
reassurance.
lines, Mataji, Prabhupada's purports have got punch lines, they have got all the knowledge. So we are just repeating like parrots what Prabhupada said. That's all, Mataji.
No,
Mataji,
it depends
one
upon
more last
very
question,
clear
Mataji.
explanation, Mataji, because it's always you are giving very clear explanations, and there is no doubt, you know, in the whatever shlokas you are covering, each and everything you clarify so well, Mataji, that there is no doubt. And I think I'm right. So yeah, this is so good. And then at the last, all this fruitful discussion, this was so good that, you know, we have to also see that where we are going beyond, you know, the things which we can control and we are not controlling.
Yes.
So very nice, Mataji. Very, very fruitful discussions and fruitful session. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, one question, if you have the time, otherwise next time I'll ask.
I have time. I'm only asking with Narayani Mataji. She has a small son at home also.
Yeah, you can ask her if she's okay.
No, Mataji, you can, because it is yet 10:49. Yeah, you can.
Even I have one question, Mataji.
Mataji, this I think 1 or 2 days back, We were doing this Bhagavatam, text 43. In that they say that they say where a Vaishnava like Prahlad is born, not only his father, but his father's father and their fathers, after the second father back, all are automatically delivered, right?
Yes.
That's the forefathers.
Yes.
But somewhere else I wrote that even the below also, if you're
Yes.
devotees, you really like you deliver 14 generation down also.
Up and down also. Yes, Mataji.
Up and down. So
Yes,
when you say up and down, down means is it your entire family or only me, my husband? I'm just asking you.
Husband side, Mataji, husband side.
Husband side, everybody, not the ladies side, not the woman side.
Will differ. The Gotra will differ, no, Mataji. The lineage will differ. No.
Okay.
So in which case, Mataji, parents who don't have sons will not get this Sakriti?
They themselves can do it, no, Mataji. If they don't have sons, only the sons need not do. The soul themselves can do, no, Mataji.
They can do, but like how you are saying that if I do, my in-laws will get it, my parents will not get it. So which is like...
Mataji, having sons is that they have extra punya. They have some extra merit. Then only you get sons. I'm not saying that whoever has daughters have done some sin. It's just that the ones who have got son have got extra merit. That's all.
But Mataji, one day there was one sannyasi.
One second, they do the Hare Krishna, Hare Bol, Hare Bol. Yeah, just a small announcement. I know otherwise people will leave. So this announcement is from ICF that the whole April month, those who will attend Shrimad Bhagavatam session, there will be a gift for them. Once the April month will complete, so you people can call your friends, your relatives, and all of you who are attending, please attend. Continue attending it. So 9:30 this session itself. And full April month and with punctuality also. So we will see, and then you have to register actually for this to one group, WhatsApp group, which I'm going to share the link. And just you have to register over there, and then you have to put the message that you have attended, and then the rest will take care of. So Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
And
Mataji, one small doubt, Mataji.
Mataji, my question I'll ask you next time. I have more details to ask you next time. Let the others ask.
Okay.
No
yes.
hurry.
Yes, tell me, Mataji.
Shobha here, Mataji. Actually, we all read that we have two parrots within, and one parrot is Jivatma and one parrot is Paramatma and the Supreme Soul. Once the Jivatma turns to the Paramatma, it gets into self-realization. It is enjoying living without saying it. So this is one concept. And when reading the Ajamila's thing, when at last minute he calls Narayana, Yamaduta and Vishnuduta has a fight. I have a small doubt. When there is Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no darkness, there is no Maya. So when the Supreme Soul is within, my question is why the Yamaduta is coming? Only Vishnuduta should come, right?
Mataji, you are saying Paramatma is with you.
Yes. Then how come Yamaduta is coming there?
Mataji, what about your karmas? Paramatma is with you, definitely. Paramatma is with everybody. But what about your karmas? Who is going to account for it and who is going to decide what is the punishment, what is the merit? For that, the Yamadutas will be there, no, Mataji. But if the soul is completely surrendered to Krishna and he has washed off his karmas, then only Vishnudutas. But in Ajamil's case, why the Yamadutas came? Because of the sinful life he led. And in the last minute also, he was not thinking of Narayan, but he thought of his son Narayan, and seeing the fearful form, he called out Narayan. So here we have to understand that stress of Ajamil's story is on the potency, the power of the Lord's name. It's got nothing to do with Ajamil's karmas. For Ajamil's karmas, the Yamadutas came. But the Lord's name is so powerful that it just saved him from that sinful, from the Yamadutas' hand. So Ajamil's story is to glorify the Lord's name, Mataji.
Yeah, that is true.
So then, that too also, the Vishnudutas did not take him directly to Vaikuntha just because it took Narayan's name.
They both had a conversation, and at last.
And the Yamadutas left, and then it was visible for Ajamil like a dream. He realized it. He left everything, went to Haridwar.
He went to Haridwar.
And then only he goes to Vaikuntha. Vishnudutas directly did not take him, Mataji. They gave him a chance.
I was only having a misconception that when the Supreme Soul Paramatma is within, there should not be Maya or any negativity. So I thought in that
See,
way.
Bhagavad Gita, clearly it is mentioned, Paramatma is with the Jivatma in this material world also, but Paramatma will not interfere in the minute independence of the Jiva. So the choices the Jiva makes are the karmas, and there will be the reaction to the karmas for which the soul is responsible. The Paramatma will not be responsible. If you completely surrender to the Paramatma, then he takes over.
Okay, we should understand that he is watching whether everything is executed there fine.
Mataji, Upadrishta Anumanta. So Paramatma is doing these two functions. He is permitting whatever your desires and actions are, and he is the witness, Upadrishta. He is doing these two functions along with the Jiva. But Jivatma's independence and choices, only the Jivatma is handling. And for that, he is responsible, not the Paramatma.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, how come your concepts are so clear and how you explain? Just for our growth, Mataji.
Read it 3 times, all concepts will be clear. I only read Prabhupada's purports word by word and noted the points, Mataji. That is the only thing.
How long have you been in Krishna consciousness, if I may ask?
Now,
Mataji?
12 years, Mataji.
We are at a very initial stage of question, actually. Hare Krishna.
Long time to
Mataji,
go.
keep coming and attending Mataji and we really require your association
Most
because
humble
more
request,
than
Mataji,
the
please keep coming.
more
Because
than the
today's
theory.
session was very, very nectarian.
Yeah, because
Mataji, I want to ask you these two functions of Paramatma. Can you tell in English, Mataji?
Mataji, witness. Upadrishta means witness. He is witnessing all our activities, even our thoughts. And Anumanta means he is the permitter.
Right.
Whatever we desire, it will be fulfilled only if the Lord wants.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Mataji, my battery is running low. I think it will just...
Yeah, yes. And now, yes, we have to stop, Mataji, because there's
Yes.
another session at 11 o'clock.
Yes,
So
yes.
I have already put the link so people can join this WhatsApp group. And yeah, so Hari Bol, thank you so much to all the devotees. Thank you, Hemangi Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji will come again.
Thank you, Mataji.
Don't worry, you people can note down your questions. Hari
Thank
Bol.
you, Mataji, for everything.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. It was a wonderful session. Vishnu Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ki Jai.
Vishaka
Ki
Devi
Jai.
Dasi Mataji ki Jai.
Assembled devotees. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Narayani Mataji.
Pranams.
Yeah.
Pranam,
Pranams,
Mataji.
Mataji.
I'll end the session, Mataji.
Yes, please, Mataji.
Yeah, sure.